NVIDIA stock is down over 20% from its year-to-date high as many worry that the AI market is not producing great return on investments. What's crazy is both NVIDIA and Palantir believe that there is a major bottleneck impacting AI software and holding up enterprise revenue gains from AI. Another problem is you're not hitting the like and the subscribe button, so make sure to get that fixed. All jokes aside, in today's episode, we'll cover the following. First, we'll try to understand the problem. Second, we're going to take a quick note about the $600 billion AI question. Next, the solutions from Palantir and NVIDIA. And finally, my final thoughts. Also, check out my free Substack and ebook sample in the pinned comments. So let's get started with today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
Right, so the big problem here in AI kind of comes out with this $600 billion question. And we're going to touch the $600 billion question a little bit later in this episode, but on a top level overview is big tech and all these companies are investing a lot of money in AI solutions, in AI infrastructure, but there's no AI revenue coming out of it. So they're not getting much return on their investments. Now, luckily, in most recent earnings from Palantir, they did kind of showcase a little bit of what's happening in the AI space and what's a major bottleneck. Here we can see the CTO did mention during the earnings call that right now, the market is completely bottlenecked in this transition from prototyping to production. And luckily for Palantir shareholders, as we're going to see in a bit, this is where Palantir shines. But what he believes is right now, thanks to generative AI, it's so easy to kind of create a prototype of a Gen AI solution. But he kind of gives this as an equivalent effort of making a PowerPoint slide. But it's actually very, very hard to get that in production. Probably 10 to 100 times harder than traditional software transitioning to production. And that's where this huge market opportunity lies. So we can see from the CTO of Palantir that we are getting all these kind of great prototype solutions of AI, but no real product is coming out because it's very, very hard to do so. Now, NVIDIA actually shares the very same thought process. In a recent, I believe during Computex, NVIDIA CEO said the following: every enterprise is looking to add generative AI to its operations, but not every enterprise has a dedicated team of AI researchers, said Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of NVIDIA. So very much like the Palantir CTO, NVIDIA CEO believes that right now it is very hard to kind of get an actual AI product out there, because if you're not a company that has a generative AI researchers, then it's going to be very difficult for you to create some form of valuable product. Now that we know the problem, I want to touch this $600 billion question a little bit more. So for those that are not familiar, Sequoia Bank, I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, on June 20th of 2024, did release kind of this blog post about AI's $600 billion question. And it's kind of talking about an AI bubble. And this $600 billion question starts off with how much money and revenue is needed to pay back for these AI investments. In theory, by Q4 of 2024, big tech players are going to be spending about $150 billion on NVIDIA solutions. And based on reports, 50% of building a data center comes from GPU products alone. The other 50% comes from building the actual data center and the cost to operate. So if you're spending $150 billion on NVIDIA solutions and it's about 50%, and that's only 50%, the other 50% to run and build a data center is another $150 billion. So that's where you get for quarter of 2024 that in theory, to build these data centers, you're spending about $300 billion, or the overall market is spending about $300 billion. Now, assuming a software margin of 50%, the AI revenue required to pay that investment back is at least $600 billion. Now, based on this analyst, he mentions that, hey, look, there's companies making annual revenue on AI right now, but it's very, very small. The whole, or how much is left over after this revenue, is about $500 billion. So this is obviously a very, very important question. Luckily for us, a few days ago, Oracle reported earnings, and their CTO kind of got asked this question and answered it pretty well. So there was an analyst that was talking about how clouding providers like Amazon, like Google, like Microsoft, and all these players are getting revenue in forms of Gen AI. But where is the actual revenue coming from the app side, not on the training side? And the CTO of Oracle actually got pretty heated with this question and pretty much mentions that a question like this is kind of dumb, and it showcases that one doesn't really understand the shift of this technology. And the main reason is all our applications are going to be primarily AI applications. So how do you charge for separately for everything? So pretty much what the CTO of Oracle mentions is that there's not going to be an individual line for AI revenue. AI is being added into your core products. So how can you charge or showcase a line for that? And it's very important to know that. I think right now everybody's looking for an individual AI revenue line, but that's not the case. And for example, Meta and Google are having AI revenue in their ads, in improving efficiency there. So when you think about AI investments, you have to think about it in the three things. First is, how is it adding revenue incrementally to your core products and not as an individual segment? Second is, how is it reducing the cost or adding efficiency to your product, either making it higher margins? And finally is, how much money would you actually lose by not investing in AI? And let me explain that a little bit better. Let's say there was a player, let's say Meta didn't invest in AI. Their advertisement solutions would be completely bad. So you would lose so much revenue in advertisement as your customers would go to your competitors like Google and the other players out there. So it's not just how much money you're making from AI, it's how much are you improving in efficiency, but also how much market share are you not losing by investing in AI. And this is what all the big techs are thinking about. So I just wanted to make that point clear. So now that we understand the problem and we also understand the $600 billion question, we are going to talk about the solutions. So NVIDIA and Palantir are both creating solutions to make it easier for people to develop AI applications. NVIDIA on August 27th announced their NIM agent blueprints for enterprises to make their own AI. So NVIDIA NIM agent blueprints are a catalog of pre-trained customizable AI workflows that equip millions of enterprise developers with a full suite of software for building and deploying generative AI applications for canonical use cases such as customer service avatars, retrieval augmented generation, and drug discovery virtual screening. So we can see that NVIDIA is creating a solution to make it easier to build AI applications. Now, obviously, the top dog here right now is Palantir with their artificial intelligence platform, aka AIP, which is pretty much going beyond chat and having enterprise autonomy. So this pretty cool image right here is kind of AIP solution. And for those that are not familiar, it's a platform that helps you develop AI solutions or AI apps. And this is where Palantir is dominating. We can see from the CTOs during the most recent earnings that the CTO mentioned that today's AIP developers will be the enterprise's next generation of builders. Apollo delivers eye-watering agility and responsiveness, while AIP deprecates back-end development the same way that hyperscalers deprecated infrastructure, providing the mechanism to bring AI into production in enterprise quickly. Now, the chief revenue officer of Palantir mentioned the following. Boot camps, which is they do kind of these sales pitch where they show the solutions and how well AIP works. They bring customers in and they showcase these full boot camps of how you can use this in your own company. And boot camps remain a key to go market motion, particularly for prototyping what is possible with AI. But the real opportunity and our unique capability lies in moving from prototype to production with these customers. And this is where they have closed multiple seven-figure deals as enterprises see how AIP can help them develop AI applications that will make or save money in their overall business. So now here are my final thoughts. We kind of learned about the problem, and there is a problem with AI right now, but it has two solutions. The first solution is pretty much not really a solution. It's just the ability to understand that AI revenue is not an individual segment, as we saw from Oracle's CTO. The second is making it easier for AI products to be made. With new technology also comes new inventors. Both Palantir and NVIDIA are making it easier for that to happen, and both kind of have their own reason to do it. Obviously, Palantir can benefit the most as it seems to be a strong leader in this space. Designing a platform and teaching developers and doing boot camps is an amazing way to grow. Now, NVIDIA, on the other hand, needs more people to develop AI applications because the more AI applications there are, the higher needs for hardware, software, and infrastructure solutions that NVIDIA provide is needed. Now, I believe NVIDIA is happy with what Palantir is doing, but NVIDIA wants to help out and make it easier for people to develop AI application using its NIM services. And this is a very NVIDIA thing to do, where they try to reduce the friction to get into the market. NVIDIA actually did this very well with its infrastructure solution by making it easier to design AI servers. Now you have so many people designing AI servers. NVIDIA itself is not in the AI server market, but will help others enter to help increase the reach of its product. And I think it will do the same in this software space. Now I do own both shares of NVIDIA and Palantir. NVIDIA is my number one and Palantir is nowhere near. But Palantir has seen amazing news in the past few days with the inclusion of the S&P 500, partnering with Microsoft, being named an AI leader. For that reason, I think Palantir has potential to grow dramatically, but will face volatile times. If I was to buy Palantir at these levels, it would be very small dollar cost averaging. On the other hand, NVIDIA sitting in the low 100s screams a little bit more attractive price points because I believe that the AI market is real. If one has worries about the AI market, then NVIDIA is definitely not the stock for you. Everything depends on the AI technology, so NVIDIA does come with a lot of risk as well. At these levels, close to $3 trillion of market cap, I gotta set my expectations correct, and I don't think NVIDIA is gonna give me the same type of gains it gave me in the past year or so. But I still believe it will outperform the market. Now, this is gonna be a very volatile stock and one that's not for the faint of heart, as any slowdown or hiccup in the AI space can create a lot of negative sentiment for NVIDIA stock. So those are my thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.